Hello. I even brushed my hair for today's episode, so it must be special. No, sir, I do not want your penis, is the episode title of today. And that is because life as a female seems like some kind of ever constant fight against men and their penises. They're just always after you. I don't know what it is. Just chill out, okay? I feel like I'm batting them away like some kind of penis total wipeout. Like, I'm not even a 10 out of 10, right? I would say, I'm going to be nice to myself, maybe I'm a 6. Right? 6 out of 10. Yet somehow, and I discovered how last night, I was thinking about this when I was writing this episode, and I was thinking, why is it that not being a 10 out of 10 means that I sound like some kind of sex queen? Because I'm like, oh, so many men want me. Do they? I don't know. But then I was thinking, if you're a 10 out of 10, realistically, you're only going to get offers from 8s and above, right? You're not going to, I hate classifying people as numbers. I'm sorry. But it's the easiest way to do it. As a 4 out of 10, you're not going to go up to Angelina Jolie and be like, hey lady, do you want to have sex with me? But if you're Brad Pitt, you might get away with that. And he obviously did. But if you're a 6 out of 10, let's say I'm a 6 out of 10, just for argument's sake, okay? Doesn't mean I am. It's variable. Today, maybe because I brushed my hair, but prior to that, no, because it was a big matted mess. I feel like I've got some kind of leeway because if you're a 6 out of 10, you're going to get anywhere from maybe 2 to a desperate 8 coming your way, right? That's 6 points. Whereas if you're a 10, you're only going to get the 10s and the 10s, the 9s and the 8s maybe. So it kind of makes sense. If you're about average, you're going to get more, weirdly, I would say. More offers, more sexual offers. Today I talk about, I've got a few stories of today. I actually did mention one of them in my previous episode, and it sounded a little bit dark because it was like, the time that I got sexually assaulted by a taxi driver. I did get sexually assaulted, but I think it's kind of funny. Am I allowed to say that? Well, I am, because it's about me. I'm not saying sexual assault is funny. I'm saying the situation was funny and the outcome was funny, sort of. So stick around for that story, because no one knows how being sexually assaulted is funny. I'm the kind of person who looks on the bright side of life, who sees things in a funny light. So hopefully I can make my sad story, my demise, my sexual demise, a positive thing. Come on, let's get into that. I've got fucking loads of stories about men wanting to give me their penis. I don't know what it is. It's like, let's start from, I've got some really concerning stories actually that I'm sure the court would want to hear, but alas, I do not intend to press charges, but I will discuss some of them, because as a 14, I'm not saying this for people to feel sorry for me, right? I'm just saying it because it's like part of the story, but also it's kind of indicative of like what it's like being a female. If you don't understand, I feel like guys don't get it because, oh, by the way, I've got my iced coffee with me. That's what that noise was. This is my first iced coffee in a podcast ever. This is a fucking momentous moment. Also, I'd like to point out this is nearly my 70th episode. Not many podcasts. In fact, I think something like 90% don't make it past episode 7 or something. I was going to be in that category, and then I was like, no, I like podcasting. I like just talking forever. So I carried on. I picked it back up, changed the name, we carried on. Okay, what was I talking about? Fuck, I've fucking forgotten. Okay, yeah, what it's like to be a female. Oh, because men, I feel like men don't get it. They're like, they want to, okay, I'm being generalist here. I get it, not all men are like this. Some men that I've had to deal with, okay? This is my experience, my situation, and my opinion, and I do not want to target all men, and I'm sure there are some very lovely men out there. In fact, I know there are, because my boyfriend's very lovely, yay. There are some, when I was 14, yes, maybe not even 14, maybe 13 or 14, older men, I don't know what's going on here, but men who definitely should not have been going for a 14-year-old were making moves on me. Number one, some of them were 18. I think that's weird. Looking back on it now, I did not have sex with them. thankfully. That's what they were after. But it's like, that's illegal, right? Like, don't have sex with a 14-year-old. Just don't do it. There we go. That's the end of that one. But I had a lot of guys like this. I had at least, okay, I say a lot, 2. But it felt like a lot. But then there was one that was older. He was in his like mid-20s. I think he just liked the attention. But he was after me when I was 14. Concerning? Yes. Now, I don't think he would have gone through with it, but the other 2 definitely would have done. One of them wanted to meet me in a field. I'm glad I had some kind of common sense as a child. Like, I did have some idea of like, this doesn't feel right, so I'm not going to do it. Meeting overage men in a field behind your house, yeah, that is how romantic it was, is not a good idea. Please don't do it. Even if you're not underage, don't do that. No. That's my life advice for you today. And I didn't do it. And alas, we live to tell the tale. But these people, like, there was fucking evidence for this. They could have been done. But look, I don't want to ruin people's lives. And you could say, well, Dawn, you're maybe ruining somebody else's life because they should be in prison or whatever. I feel like half the men that I know would be in prison. No, okay, that's an exaggeration. A lot of the men that I know would be in prison if I reported all of them. And now I feel bad because I didn't report them. But look, nothing happened, and that's not to say anything would have happened, but I have some guilt now. Oh dear. Okay, let's carry on. Look, the court system, my boyfriend is in law. The court system for people who report sexual issues is difficult because there's no evidence often, unless they've like messaged you or whatever. There's no physical evidence, and you need evidence in this country to prosecute. And you also have to go through the fucking court system, which is kind of terrifying for everybody involved. But it's like it's not an easy road, Anyway, my concerning being sexually prowessed by 18-plus-year-olds. I feel like the men that I've dealt with they'll do anything for sex, They just will. Like, I've had guys lie to me. I don't think that's uncommon either. And I have talked about this one guy in my podcast before. He was the guy that I was like, I think I talked about him in the Tinder episode. It was like Tinder, the good, the bad, the ugly, but I've forgotten which one it was. I think it was the ugly. It was the ugly because he was the ugliest of them all. He wasn't actually physically ugly, just personality ugly. Because what did he do? He basically led me along a path of, I don't want just sex. I want something a bit more substantial. I want to spend time with people or whatever, he basically didn't want to just fucking chuck. That was the impression. In fact, it wasn't the impression he gave me. I didn't deduce this. It was the exact words that he gave me, that he didn't want to do that. And then I think we went on 2-3 dates or something. Okay, I don't know if I should tell this story. I'm getting into some risky stories today, but whatever. Nobody knows who he is. He basically couldn't, okay, I feel bad. He had some, I'm not going to explicitly say, you can just work it out for yourselves. He had some alcohol-related issues in the bedroom. Hopefully that's obvious enough, but without me having to actually verbalize it. And he was then messaging me after and seemingly unfazed by it. And then he started to waver. At one point he said his battery died and he was at some kind of party or some kind of do. I don't want to say it was a party. It wasn't party. It was some kind of do, a black tie thing. And he's like, oh, my battery died. And then because his WhatsApp went off. So basically when you block somebody on WhatsApp, I'm pretty sure he blocked me. Spoiler. The picture disappears and the writing of the name disappears. Now he disappeared. My messages didn't send to him that I'd replied. I wasn't where are you? It was just a reply. Don't worry. And he's like, oh yeah, my battery died. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. This made me very sus. I was like, he's either got some other girl on the go or he's I don't know what he's doing, but his battery did not die. If a guy tells you that, it's a fucking lie. I'm telling you now, because that is not what happens when your battery died. Anyway, then he reappears the day after. I'm sure he was with somebody else, positive. And then I can't remember how long ago after that it was, but I didn't mention it. I wasn't oh, you clearly blocked me. But then he disappeared for good and he never came back online. And that was the end of that. But to go from a place of, I don't want to, I don't want just a fucking chuck one night stand kind of thing, to going to a place where you didn't get what you wanted, so you're just going to block me, and you're clearly obviously not a nice person because, you don't want to tell people the truth, and he was just a liar. He just lied. I do not like liars. Liars are my biggest foe in life. If somebody lies to me, that's it. They've fucking lost my trust, and I will think that they are lying all the time. And unless I know that it is in fact a truth, the sky is blue, or pigs do not in fact fly unless they're in an aeroplane. Those are the kind of truths that I would believe. But no, I did not block you, and my battery ran out. Fuck you. That's not true. Fuck you, that's not true. So there we go. I'm just amazed at how many guys will lie through their teeth, through their trousers, I don't know, through fucking everything just to get sex. That is what they will do. And it really does surprise me. They will break the law, apparently, and they will, nearly break the law. None of these guys actually did. I don't know if they would have gone through with it, right? But I also don't know anybody else that it happened to, so maybe I was just a sexy 14-year-old. I don't know what was going on, okay? It makes you think, and I know this is typical victim mentality or whatever, and it shouldn't be the case, but it makes you think was I doing something wrong? Was I being overly precocious or something? But then you think, well, they're an adult and they should know that they shouldn't be messaging a 14-year-old to meet them in a fucking field. No. So there we go. But yeah, I'm just amazed at what men will do. They will break the law, they will lie, they will cheat. And I know, I'm holding my hands up, both hands. I know that women will do this too, okay? Or not all men will do it. I don't want to be fucking clipped out and Dawn's so sexist. No, I'm just saying from my experience, because all I've dealt with is men, because I'm heterosexual. I'm just waiting for the ambulance to go past. It's not showing up on the microphone waveform though, so hopefully you didn't hear it. Oh, this is pretty gross, but I've got a lot of mucus today. I don't know what's going on. It's all this talking, it really fucking riles up my mucus glands. I've also got something going on, not that you care, but something going on with my neck and my gums. They are all inflamed. Not my gums. I don't know. That was the most pointless story ever, but basically, my mouth is not in a good way for multiple reasons. Number 1, ulceration / inflammation of unknown cause. Number 2, neck pain. Number 3, mucus. I think number 4, excessive burping that is occurring right now. Okay, I'm so sorry. All right. Now we move on to... God, I think this episode might be quite short. We'll see how long I talk about Taxi Man for. In fact, I was going to try and find out his name because... No, wait. Okay, we're skipping ahead. There was another guy who... Now, it might be somewhat my fault because I seem to have some kind of self-sabotage issues where I go for men that might be unavailable. This is what I mean. Maybe it's my fault. I go for men that it's they're in the military. This guy was in the military and the next guy that I'm going to talk about was in the military. They're so unavailable and I feel like that's the allure maybe, and they also want no commitment, and I don't know. I wish I liked going for men that were, able to commit, but apparently when I was, in my younger 20s, that was the vibe that I was going for, was ooh, will they text me back or will they block me? Who fucking knows? I can't wait to find out. That was the thing that I like lived for, apparently. So the next guy, I don't know if I've talked about him in my Tinder ones. I don't think we met on Tinder. We met on some other kind of app. But he was also in the military. This guy is probably one of the cockiest guys I've ever dated. And we only went on 3 dates, but he kind of terrified me a bit. Like, I don't think we ever kissed. And I was like way too scared to make any move. He wasn't like a terrifying person, like he was gonna fucking kick me down the stairs or something. But like, he just had this like extremely cool persona that was like, I am so fucking unbothered by anything in this world. And he would just like not really look you in the eye, and he'd just be like too fucking cool for school. And I kind of liked it, but I also kind of hated it. Like, I was sort of like very mixed, a bit bipolar about the whole situation. I was like, like my ovaries say yes, but my fucking brain says no, lady, get away now. Because he's the kind of guy that like activates your like issues where you're like, oh, are they coming or are they going? Like, he's not the kind of guy that you need in your life for anybody. No. I don't think he was in a place to like actually want to commit. He was like 25, 26 I was at the time, I think, or maybe a bit younger. He was like the kind of guy that wanted no commitment. He was the kind of guy that wanted to be cool. And he was, I want to say, a bit of a twat, but I didn't really know him that well, so I don't know that I can make that generalized assumption. But he drove a BMW. What does that say? I'll let you decide. And he like wore aviator shades, and okay, I'm gonna reveal quite a big information nugget here, because this will give it away if he is listening, right? Because there's not many people who this would refer to, but I don't care. You can know that you're a twat. Okay, like, there you go. So he was, for his job, he was in the Navy, but not in boats. No. Wait, was he? Yes, he was in the Navy. I got confused then, because I was like, was he in the RAF? Because that's what I thought, because RAF is plain airborne shit, right? Royal Air Force. But no, he was in the Navy, but he flew fighter jets. What? I know. I've never met anybody that did that either, but he was like the cockiest person you'll ever meet. And I later learned that as a generalization and a stereotype, people who fly fighter jets very, very up themselves. I guess they think they're like the best of the fucking cream of the crop or whatever. And maybe they are, like, for their ability to withstand G-force, and that's probably the only quality they have. And I guess their willingness to sacrifice their lives, I don't know. But I never got a ride, let's put it that way. I never got to go in an aeroplane or anything. Not that I was expecting that, and also they're like military aircraft. Also, I would 100% have thrown up. Like, I get travel sick just going around a corner at 30 miles an hour. It's a problem for me. My mum was like, oh, I hope you grow out of it. I certainly did not grow out of it. I will to this day throw up on the side of the road. So you best believe that if you take me up in an aeroplane and do these fucking tricks, I'm going to throw up, or at least be extremely sick. The only times that I really throw up are when I drink, but the night before, obviously not at the time. If I drink and then I get in a car, like, wait there, that sounds bad. If I am hungover and then somebody's like driving me somewhere, I have thrown up on the side of the road. I spent quite a lot of money to get to this. I went out, right, a while ago, and I spent a lot of money. Like, I think it was something like 20 or 30 quid to get like half an hour down the road. It was quite far away though. It wasn't like a short half an hour. I got half an hour down the road and then threw up in the taxi ride there. Had to get out the car and just threw up in the road. And then on the way back, got the bus back because I was like, I'm not spending 20 quid again. I literally was there for an hour and I left. I was done. I was fucking dunzos. I got the bus back, got on the bus the wrong way, so ended up going the opposite way to that I wanted to go. It took me an hour to get home because I went the wrong way. It did a loop, thankfully, came back. I was like too fucking done to get off and then get on the other way. I was just like, no. Also, it's a loop, so once you're on it, like, there isn't a bus going the other way. That was it. So I got the bus back to where I got on the bus, and then I got the bus back, threw up on the way back, had to ask the bus driver, I was like, please wait for me, but you don't have to, but I would love it if you did. Threw up. She was very lovely. Fucking loved that lady. Like, I was in a desperate situation and she waited for me. Fucking bae. And I was like, I'm sorry, I just need to get off and be sick. She was probably just glad that I got off and threw up, if anything. I do have quite a good ability not to just throw up in my, where I am. I do like try to exit the situation. I also threw up on a boat. I was also hungover. So me and travel and hangover, no, not good. I will almost definitely throw up. So keep me in the bed and that's it. And on flat ground that doesn't move. So yeah, and then I got home after an hour and that was like the worst, I don't want to say the worst night of my life, but I very much disliked it. What is wrong with my mucusy nose? To be fair, this would be quite good if it's I don't know what happened there. It'd be quite good if it's a short episode because I have to go to work in like half an hour. Woo! Woo! Okay. Also, I curled my hair the other day and it still smells burnt. Like, I don't know if that's okay or if that's what happens because I haven't curled my hair in like 10 years. But that's my situation. Okay, so fighter jet man did not take me in his fighter jet. After 3 dates, he just sort of ghosted me. But like, it wasn't like, I don't want to see you anymore because you're not giving me sex, which is basically, I'm pretty sure, what happened, because I was so scared of him. I was like, you intimidate me. You do. I don't know if he'd intimidate me now. I'm a lot more self-assured. I'm a lot more confident. But like back then, I was like young 20s. I was like, this man scares me so much. He scares me. I don't want to look at him. I am too scared to make a move. And if you don't make a move, then nothing is happening, my friend. So, and also I just don't know if I saw him sexually. Like I was more scared of him than sexually attracted by him. So I feel like that's never a good sign. I wasn't like I said, I wasn't scared that he was going to like hurt me. I was just intimidated, scared. Like, ooh, you scare me. I don't know if that makes any sense, you know? To me it does, because I know how it feels. Oh, okay. The last one, Taxi Man. Now I can't remember his name, but I know for a fact that it begins with A. I want to say it's like Albo or something like that. Now, his biggest mistake right here was putting his number in my phone. Come on, where is it? Maybe I deleted it. Do you know what? That's really sad because I was actually going to call him on this episode and his number isn't here. And I'm telling you for a fact it began with A. Like, I am sure of it. And there's an Aiden there. It's not him. Aaron. I'm sure he just... Oh, that's really sad, guys. Because I was looking forward to that. Oh, I've got too many contacts to go through all of them. But he definitely just put like one single name in. And that was it. I probably deleted it after he sexually assaulted me. I was like, no thanks. I don't need anything more to do with you. The extent of the sexual assault was minimal, okay? Minimal sexually assaulting. And I don't like calling it that because it makes it seem like a big deal. But he did do stuff to me that I didn't consent to. Now, okay, that sounds dramatic. So let's get going. I was on a night out. You can tell if you listen to any of my stories that I lived a rather hectic, somewhat carefree youth. Where I just got drunk and I just did shit and I just fucking YOLO'd it and just ran around doing stupid shit. I've got a lot of stories where I'm just doing stupid shit. So that's why I love talking about them on my podcast, because I think it's quite funny. Now, I don't remember this night. Not surprising, because I don't remember a lot of my nights out. Like, it's not, I used to get so drunk that I didn't remember parts of it, or maybe all of it. And I would wake up and be like, when your eyes are still shut and you're awake though, but you're like, oh my God, I really hope I'm in my bed. I really hope I'm not like in a bush somewhere, because it has happened. I'm telling you, I've woken up on the side of the road before. I don't know if I should admit that, but that was in a different country, so I feel like the rules are different. I think I woke up on like, I don't really remember. I just remember like I was just like walking. And then I like collapsed on a beach and slept there for a bit longer. And yeah, that was a very, I wish I could tell you more, but I honestly don't remember. Apparently, the last time people saw me, I grabbed a bunch of straws from this was when plastic straws were still a thing, so like 2016. Grabbed a bunch of straws, threw them, and then ran away. That sounds like something I would have done when I was drunk. Now, I remember nothing. I don't even remember doing that. That is the power of very cheap alcohol. And that's probably a good reason why they put the price of alcohol up so high, because otherwise everyone would just be running around, grabbing plastic straws, throwing them, and fucking running around and waking up in a ditch somewhere. Like, that would not be unheard of. I've done lots of stupid shit when I'm drunk, and some of it I regret, some of it I don't. Now, again, I do not remember this situation. I honestly don't remember the night. Like, a lot of nights out, they're quite similar, aren't they? But this one ended a little bit differently, because I found, don't know how, don't know where, I found a box of Family Circle biscuits. I know, you did not expect me to say that, and I also didn't expect to say that. But they weren't in the box, they were like in the tray still. If you don't know what Family Circle biscuits are, they're basically like share packs of biscuits, but like in a tray and then in a box. And they're like, there's like 2 trays of them. Ugh. And I found one tray. This tray had been through the mill. It looked like a troll had stamped on it. Like, it was not in a good way. But what did I do in my drunken feud? I decided to pick it up and carry it home. Yes, that's right, people. I decided that I would eat troll-stamped biscuits. Now, the important fact about this box of biscuits, tray of biscuits, was that it was still sealed, despite having looked like it had been through some kind of stampede. The biscuits were very broken, but I was like, biscuits are biscuits, and I get quite hungry when I'm drunk, and I become like a bit of a rabid pig. So I picked up these biscuits, and I think I went to a taxi rank, or I called a taxi. Anyway, I got in a taxi somewhere or another. Thank God it wasn't Uber, because I would have given this fella a 1-star review. Okay, and that has never happened in my life. I always feel bad for giving people low reviews, because I was in an Uber the other day. I wasn't sexually assaulted, but it did smell of smoke. And I was like, realistically, I would give this Uber a 3 or a 4 out of 5. Like, I did not enjoy it because it fucking stunk, and I wanted to open the windows, but it was raining. And I always feel bad opening the windows when I'm in somebody else's car, and realistically, they can't say no. Like, can I open the window? No. Well, I'm your passenger, so I'd quite like to open it, please. So they can't say no, or like they don't say no, but I don't want to get the inside of their car wet, and also I don't want to make them cold. So I suffered in silence, felt very sick, and I didn't want to give, I'm pretty sure his name was Mohammed, I didn't want to give his Uber a 3-star rating, but I was almost there. My finger was hovering over that rating, and I was like, no, I don't want to ruin his life. So, you know, when it's somebody's job, I just feel bad. Anyway, I'm there with my biscuits in Exeter. I get into a taxi, and this is where my life choices have changed for the better. Number 1, I probably wouldn't pick up a pack of biscuits now. Number 2, I now sit in the back seat of the taxi. I always used to sit in the front just because I thought it was the normal thing to do, sit in the front of a car if there's nobody in it, but also because I get travel sick, right? This is all looping around together quite nicely. So I sit in the front of this taxi. I don't know if I should like explain. Oh shit, I feel bad. Like, basically, he was not from this country. He was, I think, African. I don't know. His name, I thought was something beginning with A, but now I'm unsure. I thought it was Albo, but I don't know. It was something like 4 letters and very short and began with A. And I'm not enjoying this mucus. I'm so sorry. Anyway, let's call him Albo. I don't know. Yeah, Albo. African Albo. And there I was with my biscuits on my lap. He drove me home. I sat in the front seat. Regrets. Don't ever do this anymore unless you're with somebody else. I learned this the hard way because there's easy access to you. Now, the thing is, I think he probably thought I wouldn't remember maybe, or didn't think it was like a weird thing to do. But I was very drunk. Like, I would say on the scale of like 10 being like unconscious, can't physically move, will not remember the night, needs to be carried home. Someone, if they were scared, would take her to hospital. To 0, as I am now, very, very sober, I was probably a 7. I was quite drunk. Now, I would say tipsy is like a 3 or a 4. Yeah, maybe a 3. So being like a 7, I don't want to say 8 because I do remember it. And maybe like a 7.5. Anyway, I was like a 7.5. Sat in the front. Like, when somebody's that drunk, and I hope, because you are a taxi driver, that you are sober, you can tell when somebody is that drunk. Surely you can. And we got to outside my house, so he did take me to the right location, which is always a fucking bonus when you're being taxied somewhere. And there I was with my family pack of Family Circle biscuits on my lap, and he leans over the central reservation and kisses me. I didn't ask for you to kiss me, Albo. I wasn't looking. I don't know. The problem is, maybe I was giving some signals, or maybe I was saying, I want you to kiss me, sexy taxi driver. I didn't ask for it. I'm pretty sure I didn't. And I was like, oh my fucking God, what just happened? Now, I feel bad because it was this guy's like income. He should not have kissed me. Agreed. The worst part about it is that the next day, this is fucking gross, I don't want to say it. The next day, or maybe the day after, I became unwell. I had an upper respiratory tract infection. Some kind of, I don't know, but like he gave me something, like I'm fucking sure of it. Maybe it was like mono, as the Americans call it, like infective mononucleosis, which is like glandular fever, I think we call it. Anyway, I was totally not vibing that, and I was like, I had this guy's number. Like, he gave me his number. I didn't ask for it, but he gave me it. I'm very glad that nothing more happened, you know? That could have been quite a dangerous situation for me, especially being like a 7.5 out of 10 with my fucking family biscuits. Like, this man's on the loose somewhere. God knows what he's getting up to. But I don't have his number now, and I don't remember his name, and I don't remember his taxi firm that I got him from. Maybe he wasn't with a taxi firm. I don't know. Anyway, there we go. That's my sexually assaulted by a fucking taxi driver. It's hard as a female, you know? I feel like I'm not the first. Well, I'm definitely not the first, and I'm not the last, and to be sexually assaulted. And it sounds quite dramatic saying sexually assaulted, but it's fucking true. Like, I didn't ask him to... Wait there. What is the Hey Siri, what's the definition of sexual assault? I should probably have checked this before I started using. The overall... This is from the Metropolitan Police, so I fucking believe them, okay? Rape or sexual assault is a serious crime. The thing is, nobody wants to report it. It's too scary. And what evidence do I have? Everybody needs fucking photographic evidence nowadays, or, you know, now the time has passed, you know, I don't have like a swab. It's terrifying going to the police. The overall definition of sexual or indecent assault is an act of physical, psychological, and emotional violation in the form of a sexual act inflicted on someone without their consent. Sounds like I was sexually assaulted, doesn't it? Yes. You don't actually have to be touched to be sexually assaulted. You might just have to witness things, or yeah. Wow. There we go. Maybe I'll take that off my... Literally, as I unlock my phone, it comes up. I should probably take that off. What do I want you to glean from this episode? I am not laughing at sexual assault or rape or things like that. Look, I am a victim of it, and I want everybody, you know, everyone was like in the Me Too thing, in the Me Too movement was like doing all of that, and I didn't get involved in that, but I was kind of like, yeah, fair play, everybody's now speaking up to it. And I guess, you know, I'm a doctor who wouldn't, I don't know, I don't want to be like who you wouldn't expect it from, but like it happens to everybody. And I guess when you're in a drunken, vulnerable position, like, unfortunately that can happen. And I guess I don't really like have any I know I've not been like a beacon of like I don't want to say beacon of hope, a beacon of probably what you should do, which is report these people. But like, I honestly feel like I'd be reporting so many people if I did. And also, I completely get it. Like, the system is terrifying, and it is not set up for easily going through it. You know, if you do press charges or whatever, you have to sit in front of a court, and their lawyer will fucking go to town on you. Like, it's a hard situation to be in. I think, you know, if there was something more serious, then, you know, more than just a kiss, I think I probably would report it. But for me, a kiss is like, well, shit happens. Like, for me anyway, that's, I don't know. It's hard to say because everyone's different, and I don't want people to listen to this and think, oh, well, Dawn got kissed and she was fine with it, but I wanted to report it, but now I'm not going to. Like, no, fucking do it if you want to, but the issue is I don't want to. So, God, my podcast is supposed to be like fucking fun and comedic and a good time, but look, I'm just here to share my experiences with life, whether they be fun or whether they not be fun. It's just an honest, truthful, that's the same word, an honest look at life. And if it can happen to me, you know, it can happen to other people as well. So I would encourage people to report it if they feel in a position that they can. I don't know, let me know what you think. Comments down below. I'm also I am a bit like, I think I'm just being too nice. I'm like, I don't want this guy to lose his job, you know, but also he shouldn't be going around kissing like drunk clients. So there we go. Maybe I will report it. Maybe this has empowered me. Whoa, to report it. Like, wow. Maybe I will ring up the taxi company now. Maybe this is just a whole therapy session for me. Look, if I'm going to report it, then maybe it'll empower other people too. Anyway, on that note, I have to go because, like, got to go to work and shit. So thanks so much for listening. I promise next time, I upload every Monday and Thursdays. It's Monday now. I promise on Thursday I will do something a bit more lighthearted. Promise, I promise. And it won't be like as dark as being sexually assaulted with a family pack of biscuits. No one will ever look at Family Circle the same way again. I'm pretty sure I ate those the next day as well. Anyway, if you liked it, give it a like. Well, I mean, if you liked me, like maybe not the subject content, but if you want to subscribe. If you're listening on the podcast, you can follow on my YouTube channel at Dawn Barlow. Or if you are watching on YouTube, you can listen on the go. Just type in Backseat Positivity to anywhere you listen to music or stream podcasts. And yeah, please give it a rating and share it with people if you think they will enjoy it. Thank you so much for listening, and I will see you in a couple of days. I'll give you my obligatory kiss goodbye, but you don't have to accept it. It's like, you know, you can say no thanks, and, you know, I don't want to give it to you unconsensually, non-consensually. Maybe if I do it to the side. Okay, bye.